today's episode, we catch up on the Year 5 camp that happened last term.
I'll take you through some of the latest updates from around the college.
I'll take you through Melbourne's weather for the weekend ahead.
I'll take you through stories from our wider community and beyond heritage.
I'll bring you in with the latest production updates.
And I'll take you through everything sports and down to the Siren.
All that and more on HCC In-Depth. Good morning, legends! It's a Friday, 8th of May, and welcome to HCC In-Depth. Wow, Shant, what another huge week. So, what did you think about last week's youth rally? I personally really enjoyed the pastor's sermon. I think it was really interesting to hear about his thoughts about Jesus. What about you? So, I like all the churches combining and meeting with new people, and it was really nice to see that. Coming together. Yeah, I think that was really cool as well. Let's take a quick look at what else has been happening across Heritage.
Welcome to Heritage News. In week 1 for Anzac Day, we took the time out of the class to learn about those who gave their lives. The ultimate sacrifice, which we cannot understand, has allowed us as Australian citizens to grow and live in a world that they could have only dreamed of. Their sacrifice will always be remembered and never forgotten, and it's why we say, lest we forget. Recently, our Year 10 students took part in an excursion to the Holocaust Museum in Melbourne. Here they got to learn more about history and what the Holocaust truly means. It was a somewhat somber day for learning, but a great chance to learn about history and show that it's up to our generation to make things better, with better choices being made. On Sunday, 26th of April, we had our Sunday Fun Day for 2026 with record turnout. With over 850 plus people attending the event, from market stalls, food and amusement rides, it was an amazing experience for all. This event is designed to offer our families a fun day out where it doesn't cost anything to have fun. With a large turnout, it'll definitely be happening again soon. Festival of Faith has been happening in secondary last week with Pastor Josh Kross, who joined us last week of worship. During last week, we learnt about the theme of the week, God is more than able, as well as worshipping in the MPC. We also spent time out in the quad playing games while Pastor Josh took the time to get to know students and share about his life and his connection with Jesus. These are just some of the stories that happened across Heritage, with more in-depth stories to come.
Recently, Year 5 students from both campuses travelled to Sovereign Hill for a living museum experience. During the camp, students took part in a range of activities, including dressing up as students from the Gold Rush era. They took part in Mind Tours classes, panning, as well as many other activities. The camp was filled with opportunities for students to try new things, build confidence, and enjoy time outdoors with their classmates. After a full day of activities, students settled into their dorms, where they enjoyed some downtime together before getting ready for bed. Let's take a look at the highlights from that camp.
One thing that I've enjoyed so far is the gold panning. I didn't find much, but it was still fun.
So I'm a grade 5 teacher at Heritage College. So we're at Sovereign Hill. It's part of a 3-day camp for the grade 5s, which is part of their studies, learning about Australian history. So I think what they're really learning about is it's a hands-on experience, and it's really helpful to see and feel what life would have been like for school children back in the 1850s, rather than just reading about it and learning about it in a modern day classroom, that you're really immersing and experiencing what it would have been like in the 1850s.
So what I do here is I immerse the children in a 2-day experience of being a child from the 1850s, in particular the Raggeds children, so our orphans and urchins, very poor children who perhaps don't have homes, and what life was like in the school, how they could access education, and all of the little bits and pieces in between. These kids in particular learn trades, so a skill to help them get themselves out of the poverty cycle.
It's clear the Year 5 students had an amazing experience on camp and got to learn some interesting history about gold. A great way to learn about history in a different type of classroom. I'm Will, reporting for HCC In-Depth. Back to you in the studio.
With production ramping up and the date getting closer and closer, let's get an update with Deanna.
Welcome to Behind the Curtain. The energy for our 2026 production, I Am Second, is officially reaching a fever pitch as we move into the heart of rehearsals. If you've been near the music foyer lately, you've most likely heard the rhythmic stomping of our cast mastering their gospel country choreography. The students aren't just learning steps anymore. They're bringing a high energy buzz to every routine that is absolutely infectious. Behind the scenes, the physical world of Neat and Nicely Roadside Grill is also springing to life. The production team are in the beginning of an exciting process to crafting sets and props. Let's have a quick chat with some of the absolute stars for this production.
I want to make a change, not just in other people, but for people who watch this play. I want them to come away from that and say, I really learned something from that play. So
nice.
That's why I'm doing it.
The reason why I might want to do good in this play is because I want people to believe that God is first and we are second, and we have to do everything we can to serve Him.
Amen. We're also going to have a really quick chat with Mr. Brown to give us any updates. What phase are the children currently at with learning, all the choreography and lyrics?
Well, in terms of the classes, they're doing really, really well. They're singing in harmony, they're learning all their lyrics. The cast themselves, they're performing behind us right now, and they are doing so well. They don't have scripts in hands for most of it, so already after just maybe 4 weeks of 2 weeks of holidays, 2 weeks of term, they're already knowing the majority of their lines, so it's incredible.
Such dedication. It's awesome. What is the next step?
We're going to be sorting out costumes, we're going to be putting the pieces of the puzzles together, and then towards the end we'll be starting to practice on a bigger stage in a bigger area.
What fun. There's a palpable sense of pride across the cast and crew as the pieces start to clink into place, and we can't wait to see this hard work accumulate on opening night, June 16th. That's all for this week's Behind the Curtain. Madeline Hashant, back to you.
It's crazy to think we're only 7 weeks away from the production. Stay tuned for more information closer to the date. There's been quite a few events happening, both inside and outside of school. So let's catch up with Michael and find out more of what's happening beyond Heritage.
Welcome to Beyond Heritage. I'm Michael, and here's a look at some of the biggest stories happening around our local community. Cardinia Shire Council has some great financial news for the local residents of this week. The council's draft budget for 2026 to 2027 has moved up from a deficit back to a surplus, a projected positive result of $160,000. It's a significant turnaround, and it means that the council can keep investing in the services and infrastructure our community depends on. Also out of Cardinia, the council has committed to sealing a high number of high-priority dirt roads across the Shire. For residents who've dealt with dusty or muddy roads for years, this is a long-awaited improvement. The decision came through at a recent council meeting and will improve safety and access for families in affected areas. And on a bigger scale, the South Pacific Full Christ Initiative officially launched this week, bringing together Adventist leaders from across Australia and the Pacific in a major evangelism campaign. So the initiative ran from April 28th to May 2nd, and it's the beginning of a series of regional campaigns running right through to 2029, covering New Zealand, Australia, and Papua New Guinea. It's an exciting moment for the global Adventist community. Finally, a story worth celebrating from right here in Australia. Ned Brockman was named 2026 Young Australian of the Year after running across the entire country to raise awareness about homelessness. He's raised more than $1.6 million. And at just 23 years old, he's proof that someone with a big enough why can move mountains, or in his case, the whole of Australia. To find out more about these stories, check the link in the description of this video, and that's all for this week's Beyond Heritage. Madeline and Sean, back to you.
It's always good to see that beyond our school, there's so much happening in the community. We're starting to see the change in seasons happening more closely now, so let's check in with Critica with this weekend's weather.
So Melbourne is doing that thing it does, giving us a bit of damp start and then clearing up just in time for the new week. We're heading into the second week of May, and if you were hoping for more of that record-breaking warmth we saw last week, nature has other plans. On Friday, keep the umbrella handy. It's looking like a grey one with light rain throughout the day. We're reaching a high of 16 degrees Celsius and dipping to 13 degrees Celsius overnight. On Saturday morning, more of the same. I'm afraid we'll see light rain again with a high of 17 degrees and a low of 13 degrees. On Sunday, things start to settle. It'll stay cloudy during the day, but the rain chance drops to 25%. We're looking at a high of 16 degrees and a chilly overnight low of 10 degrees. On Monday, here's the payoff. The clouds finally break for a beautiful sunny start to the school week. We'll hit a high of 17 degrees after a crisp morning, low of 9 degrees. So it's a layer up and stay dry kind of weekend, but Monday is looking like the absolute pick of the bunch. Madeline and Hershant, back to you.
Yet again, Melbourne being Melbourne. Say it'll be sunny, then it rains. Say it'll be raining and it's the hottest day on record. We have another special guest joining us today. Over to you, Olivia.
I'm joined by Pastor Josh Kross. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
For students who may not know you, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Of course, yeah. So my name is Pastor Joshua Kross, and I'm a pastor of a couple of churches down in Gippsland and also right here on the Officer campus in our big NPC with a church called Crossroads 2421. When I'm not working, I'm off chasing adrenaline, whether that be skiing or snowboarding up in the mountains, or rock climbing in the cliffs over in the Grampians and the Rapparees, and hanging out with school students at schools all around Melbourne.
Cool. What brought you to Heritage College this week for Festival of Faith?
Well, the other Pastor Josh reached out to me and asked if I'd be able to come in here and share with you guys about some of the things in my life and speak to our theme of God is more than able. And so when he asked me, I said, let me pray about it, let me think about it. And as I sat down and thought about it, I thought, you know what, man, I've got some things to share. Let's get in there. I love coming in and hanging out with you guys. You guys have seen me here before, talking in the chapel programs. And yeah, so what brought me here? Hanging out with you guys, if I'm honest, sharing Jesus with all you guys.
What do you enjoy most about speaking to young people?
I think one of the main things I enjoy the most about speaking with young people is presenting truth in a way that, as far as I'm concerned, is easy to understand but holds great relevance. Like, it's super relevant for all of us, the sort of things that I'm speaking about, you know, about Jesus' love for us, about his plan to come and save us, about his plan to restore us in our relationship with Jesus. Yeah. To me, that's some of the main inspiration for it.
When you think about Festival of Faith, what do you hope students experience during the week?
I like that question. That's a good question. I think the main thing I hope that students experience is Jesus' love for themselves, is his grace, is the way that God sees them, and that we're genuine in this.
Yeah.
This is not something that I do because it's my job. I do this job because I love it. You know, I can't believe I'm able to do this. It's an awesome privilege to be a pastor.
Yeah, that's really good. In a world that's constantly busy online and full of distractions, how can students actually notice God or hear from him?
There's a verse in the Bible, I love it. It says, "Be still and know that I'm God." I think often with all the noise that happens in the world, whether that be your phone vibrating or TV's on in the background or multiple screens going all at once, I'm a culprit of that too. It can be difficult to remember that we can get out and experience nature. We can leave the phone at home, maybe keep it on you for safety, but we can get out into nature, go find a waterfall somewhere and just sit and be and listen. And as you sit there and you just breathe in that moment, all the distractions seem to eventually fade away. Because God's calling out to each of us. And in that moment when you were sitting there and you were listening, that's when you feel Him. At least that's when I feel Him the most, is when I'm able to escape the noise, escape the distraction. But it's intentional. This doesn't just happen naturally. The world is very good at distracting us. And so in that way, I like to get out, get alone, and just sit somewhere and just breathe, just be present, be still, and know that God is there.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm Olivia with HCC In-Depth.
Each week we have our value verse that ties with our value of the week. Let's see who we have this week.
Hi, my name is Jolene, and I'm reading from Joshua 1 verse 9. It says, "This is my command, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Thank you.
The Bible is just so full of lessons, and some of these lessons are great to see in line with our values here at Heritage. Let's check out what sports we have for this week with Down to the Siren.
Welcome to Down to the Siren. We are officially 3 weeks into our 9-week term, and the momentum is shifting into high gear. It's been a massive week of action from track to trails. Moving to secondary sport, our junior CSEN team hit the ground running this Wednesday with a clean sweep of victories. The girls basketball had a bye this week, but they didn't take the day off. They stayed on site for a rigorous training session to keep their skills sharp for week 4. Girls soccer had a high-stake match against St. Andrew's Christian School. The girls fought hard to edge out a thrilling 3-2 win. Our boys netball team had total dominance on the court. Our boys took down a Waverley Christian College with a convincing 25-3 victory. Lastly, boys volleyball, wow, talk about precision. In their match against Waverley, the boys secured a clean 2-0 win with a total point count of 50-32. Over to primary, and it has been a week of champions. For our primary athletes, firstly, a quick swimming update. Our water safety program continues. Our preps and year 1s are building great confidence at splashes. Note for NCP families, year 2 to 6 students from Narrow Warren South had a break from the pool this week. But get those towels ready, lessons resume next week. For Athletics Carnival on Tuesday, the energy was electric as years 3 to 6 from both campuses gathered for an annual Athletics Carnival. Whether it was the long jump or a fan favourite, the 4 100-metre relay. The sportsmanship was even better than the weather.
Hey, we're at the primary athletics day. It's a little windy, a little cold, but that doesn't dampen the spirits at all.
The best house, Landy!
We're at the Athletics Carnival, and we've been doing discus, shot put, and the 100 meters race.
My name's Archer, and the best house is Elliot, and they took all of my ribbons away.
I've got a second place in discus. 100, long jump, shot put, discus.
Oh, as always, look what I'm wearing. Court on top. Court for the win. Take that, Mrs. Mateo.
We have to give a huge shout out to Mr. Stennett. He got right into the spirit of the Athletics Carnival by racing against the students. Word is he didn't win very graciously, celebrating with a massive smile, but we love the team spirit. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the house results for the Athletics Carnival. The points have been tallied, and the results are in. In 4th place, with 394 points, it's Elliot. Taking the 3rd place spot with 422 points is Jaxon. It was a close fight for the top, but coming in 2nd place with an impressive 500 points is Court. Which means your Athletics Carnival Championship for 2026, sitting at the top with 533 points, is Landy. Give Landy a huge round of applause. The pace didn't slow down on Wednesday. 22 of our elite runners competed at the SSV District Cross Country, leading Heritage College to an impressive 4th place overall finish. A massive shout out to our podium finishers. Isla Roos, 1st place, 9 out of 10 girls. Jaxon Connell, 1st place, 9 out of 10 boys. Matisse Oliver, 3rd place, 9 out of 10 boys. Incredibly, 9 of our students have now qualified for the division competition. Finally, it's time to recognize the individuals standing out for their character, effort and leadership. From NCP, Ethan W., Prep S, for practicing patience with his own learning and showing fantastic respect for others. From OCP, Anya N., 1N, for the incredible focus she displayed while practicing her skills this week. We also have several secondary students who led by example this week. From 8B, congratulations to Aiden and Deanna. From 9C, well done to Sienna and Elijah. And also from 9C, a shout out to Neve and Jimir. With 6 weeks left in the term, we are just getting started. Well done to all our athletes. This has been Down to the Siren, and I'm Cam. Madeline and Ashant, back to you.
Yet again, another great coverage of sport. But did you know something? Each week, we've been placing different sport items with Cam. How many did you count? Leave us a comment on this video to guess how many you saw. Well, that's a wrap for week 3 of term 2. Thanks again for joining us.
Make sure you subscribe to stay notified with HCC In-Depth and follow us on our socials.
If you have a story to tell, scan this QR code and have your story featured.
Have a great weekend!